One is on what we call the uh, what is it called? Yeah, dead kick. It's a pretty tight jump on Storm Eagle's platforms, and if you fail it, you die. That's why it's called dead kick. But it seems they've started, so let's see. The intro stage, it's pretty much going to the right and mashing. Nothing much. An occasional jump here and there, but it's mostly mashing. The only thing that may be different here is the B pattern. We want the B to shoot those bullets, like on Fatso's screen. Nero mashed faster, so he only got one bonk. If you're good at mashing, this game is for you. Let's see the second B. Nero's getting some bad patterns, but Fatso's not mashing as fast, so Nero is having more health overall.
So, yeah, for those not familiar at this stage and you just stumbled into this, yes, tonight they will be playing the 8 Mavericks in X1, X2, and X3. No Sigma or anything like that. This is a variation of what was done about 2 years ago with the Mega Man 46 Robot Master Tournament, which was a huge success. So, about even on getting to Vile. Nero with about a 1.5 second lead.
Oh yeah, the interstages are par for the course, but what Proa means is that we won't be seeing any Sigma stages. We kill the last Maverick of X1 and X2, and we immediately go into the next game.
Right. And there is a 30-second break between the games to allow players who are on console to have a fairer chance, because some will be playing on emulators, whereas others are on consoles. So this is kind of a way to even that out as far as transitions, and also gives runners a chance to adjust the controls if they so choose. And actually, that most of the runners, from what I've seen. So, off and running to our first Maverick. We will be running, or at least moving faster, pretty soon after they grab the upgrade, Dr. Light.
Yeah, the dash boots are essential on this game's speedrun. We get a lot more faster with these. However, we lose a little strat that was done back there, which is called slope jumping. Whenever you're walking down a slope and you jump higher and go just a little bit faster. That's how they climb those parts without stepping onto those little platforms. But now that we have the dash boots, we just go faster than that, so we don't use it anymore.
So, actually, both players actually picked up an extra life before they got to Dr. Light. It was kind of neat. Pretty much even going into almost in perfect sync too. Yeah. Nice. So, Chill Penguin, RNG. A lot of these early bosses are gonna have some RNG to them, and Chill Penguin is probably one of the worst.
Yeah, the thing with Chill Penguin is that he likes to slide a lot, and you really don't want that because he's completely invincible. Sometimes you can get double slides, triple slides. I saw someone get 4 slides in a row once. That's like the worst thing that can happen
4
ever.
Slides, man.
So yeah, overall, we got decent fights. Fatso finished first.
Yeah, Fatso just about maybe
Oh,
a
it's a little low on
second.
health there.
If Fatso about a second and a half ahead.
Next stage shall be Boomerang Kuwanger. Yep, there they go.
No,
Yeah, the reason we go Penguin first is just because of the dash foods. If we start X1 with the dash foods from the get-go, we'll probably go to either Kuwanger first on an 80% run or Eagle first on an not very advanced 100% run. But yeah, it's just because of the dash foods.
Yeah. So Nero taking a slight lead back, was a little faster up the ladder.
One thing you'll notice see Nero did there is that he had iframes, like he received damage, but he didn't receive damage. Those spikes there on that elevator are kinda not. They don't hurt you if you press the jump button again while you're in the air, but if you touch them, they deal a lot of damage. So we use that to our advantage and just get iframes without damage.
Yeah, they're still very even going into Kuwanger. Nero's maybe got a half a second lead going into the boss arena. Maybe not even that much. Man. Yeah, the dance of death going on. In sync kills from both players, man. And of course, in X1 only, you want to finish at the center of the arena, a la Mega Man 3 to save time. So that's paramount for these guys. Here we go to to the third Maverick, Sting Chameleon. Gotta love that Sting. Fatso might be a couple of frames ahead, but that's a statistical tie, so...
Yeah. Now, it'll depend on this Caverns RNG. Oh, Nero got hit, so Fatso will be in the lead.
Got it twice.
Oh. Yeah, now Fatso's in the lead by almost a second, but yeah, it's not that big of a difference. As you can see, this stage is really short, so we just get it out of the way early.
Yeah, and with Kuwanger's ability, it's a cinch to just barrel through this.
Yep. I'd say this is the second easiest boss with his weakness. The first one will be Spark Mandarin when playing casually. Since you can freeze him.
Right.
And Fatso finished first. Yep, they're still pretty even.
Yeah, about 2 seconds, if that, for Colonel Fatso. But yeah, both players doing a fine job early on with their movement and their execution. Fatso may have had some slightly better luck with his RNG, but his movement's been on point too. As we go into Maverick number 4, Storm Eagle. This is where things could change depending on what they decide to go for here.
And if anyone's wondering, nope, Nero missed the dash there. And Fatso got the death kick. That was pretty sick.
Ouch. So, Fatso has staked himself to a pretty nice little lead there. Nero's going to have to adjust and hope for some good RNG to help narrow this deficit a bit. No death kick for Nero. He's already died once. He's not going for a double here. So Storm Eagle, one of those bosses again that a lot of RNG dependence. You're hoping he doesn't do his dives like he's doing now. 2, 3, 4, 5 dash. Dude.
5 dives.
Yeah, man.
I think the maximum is 9 dives.
No, straight crooked. They're not subjected to the same RNG. It's completely up to the game's whims and cruelties. And Nero's getting a good pattern here. 0 dives for him, so that's going to save him a few seconds.
No, they don't get the same RNG. The way RNG works on the Mega Man X games is that it's constantly changing every frame. So unless they got to have us on the very exact same frame, they won't get the same RNG.
I didn't know that about it changing every frame, but ooh, Bats almost went over the edge there, but recovers. Here's a boss full of RNG.
Yeah, the thing with Thunder Slimer is you want him to stay on the floor, so you can mash either Chameleon Sting or Boomerang subtune. But yeah, he doesn't want to go down, just shoot tornadoes.
Runner Watcher, this is a best of 3 match, and all 3 matches are scheduled to run. So
yep, this is a best of 3 since this is the semifinals, so expect a very high level here.
Spark Mandrill should be a pretty straightforward boss. The Shotgun Ice. Like Fatso had a little trouble at the start there, but settled into a nice rhythm.
Very good. The thing about Spark Mandrill here is that after you freeze him, you want to shoot him before he unfreezes, because his iframe expires before he melts the ice, so you can hit him more quickly that way. The only downside is that he can act and actually attack you, but as long as you know how he'll attack, you'll be fine.
So Fatso's going to Flame Mammoth next. Nero might opt for a different route.
Yeah, after defeating Mandrill, or no, after defeating Eagle, you can go pretty much. You can either go to Mammoth after Eagle, or anywhere from there.
Yeah.
We usually go to Mammoth before Octopus, however, since we'll use his weapon on the Octofight to make Octopus releases faster, but that's only preference. If you're a fast masher, you can get by just fine without needing Flame Mammoth's weapon.
Yeah. Fatso and Nero both opted for the same route, so Fatso's already at Mammoth. Nero's about a room behind. So nice thing with Mammoth is you can get double hits on him with Storm Eagle's weapon. Good fight from Fatso. About 15:03 on the kill. He's got 2 to go. He's got Armadillo and Octopus. Ooh.
Ooh, that's not the best RNG.
Well, he
fine.
gets through it anyways. Looks like it's about a 25-second difference between the runners. Fatso's going to do Armadillo 7. I think my favorite gate stage from a gameplay standpoint in X1. Just so many different moving parts on this one.
Yeah, but the stage is pretty tight. The one thing you want to be careful here is to not fall off the carts.
Yeah, really. So far, so good for Fatso.
Yep.
Armadillo's got some RNG as well, as far as how many times he's going to roll at the start here, but let's see.
Yeah.
Generally, I see.
Fatso? Oh, continue.
Generally, I've seen pretty good luck in overall for this, so we'll see if that continues here with
Oh, that's not pretty good. Oh,
yeah.
Still went by fast. The thing I wanted to say is on that part on the cart before Armadillo, you noticed both of them were jumping off the cart from time to time. That's because if you stay on the cart and you don't jump, some birds will start spawning and they'll cause a lot of lag. So
yeah,
you really don't want it to happen.
Good pattern from Nero gets fries Armadillo's
really
armor.
And Fatso going up on his last Maverick. Octopus stage can be pretty unforgiving since the stage has like 3 mini bosses and they all deal damage, big damage, so you want to be careful here.
On top of that, the second mini sub is on fairly treacherous ground, so while they have a pretty good handle on this in general, it doesn't take much to make a wrong step and die. So, and on top of that, when they get to Octopus, it's pretty good bet they're going to be pretty light on health.
Yeah, an Octopus attacks are hard to dodge.
As I say, this Fatso gets a reprieve and gets health back.
That was really good. He was waiting for it.
Yeah.
Nero's pretty good on health.
Fatso finishes him off at
1908. Sorry.
No, I was like, I clocked it at 1905 on the final hits. So.
Okay.
Nicely done by Fatso. Nero almost finished. Clocks it at 1922. So 17-second difference already, and Nero has been closing the gap.
Yep. As Bro said earlier, they have to wait the 30 seconds, so that's why you saw Fatso wait around there. Here we go with X2.
Loot the green guy and his great sacrifice.
Yep. Rest in peace, Green Biker dude. Oh, that's a good trap there.
So, the death notwithstanding from Nero, he has done a pretty good job closing the gap on Fatso, because he was down by about 30 seconds after the death. So he's been whittling away at it a little bit at a time. As you were saying in the pregame, his movement overall is probably better than Fatso's, and those little things do add up.
Yeah, if Nero hadn't missed that dash there back on Eagle, this will be a lot closer. But I know Nero will catch up later on.
Yeah. Fatso dropping the mini boss, no problem.
Yeah, CFO is pretty easy. The first Maverick for X2 will be Wire Sponge.
Little bit of RNG with the level, with the rain and what have you, and also there's a fair amount of RNG with Wire Sponge himself. So
yeah, the stage. Oh, Fatso grabbed the heart. That's not very common, but it's a nice safety to have.
Yeah, that's for Morph Moth more than anything, because Moth does tons of damage.
That boss he hits you twice and you're dead, even at full health.
So
okay, so this stage has this weather gimmick. You normally want anything but rain, since it pushes you back and makes you go slower. Nero's getting rain there, so Fatso will get an even bigger lead. This.
Yeah. So that could swing right back in his favor if Fatso does not get a good pattern from Wire Sponge.
And he got a good pattern. Well, the thing with Sponge is that you want him to cling to the ceiling when he's about half HP, so you can kill him before he gets mad. I don't think we'll see him getting mad here, but yeah. Maybe on the other side. He's getting some rough patterns.
Yep, there it comes.
There it comes.
Just a little
Completely
voodoo dance.
invincible. Yeah.
Not a great fight for Nero, but manages to hold the line. So now we come to Wheel Gator.
Yeah. Wheel Gator stage is pretty straightforward. We go to this stage second because of this Buster upgrade, which is easy to get with the Strike Chain, and also because Strike Chain is Wheel Gator's weakness, so we can kill him pretty fast with it on one cycle if you're optimal.
Yeah, to be fairly precise as far as that goes, it's every 5 frames. So, but once you get the timing down, it's pretty simple. Both of them getting up to the upgrade capsule on their first try. So part of even with the strike chain, it still is fairly tight movements. So you got to be a little careful.
Yeah, the key to using the strike chain is knowing that whenever you shoot the chain will go up later. So you always have to shoot the chain early to move properly.
So Fatso not quite as fluid in his movement, getting back outside, but seems to settle down. Nice dodge there at the end. So see how he does with Gator, and again, every 5 frames, very quick fight.
Oh, he
Ooh.
missed the last hit.
Oh, isn't that always the way? But takes care of him. He resurfaces, so a good fight for Fatso. Nero's underway with Wheelgator. Good, looking good. And
Yeah,
down he
there's
goes.
the
One cycle. One cycle kill for Nero X2.
Now we get this X Hunters cutscene, and these guys will start popping up on some stages. Now you'll see runners go to Flame Stack there. The reason we go to Stack there is because one of the X Hunters is on this stage, and we want to get rid of the X Hunters as early as possible so we can choose the stages faster.
It is random, though, isn't it? Which,
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not?
It depends on which stages you went to.
Ah. That's a way up. Stag overall is not an especially long stage. Just some fairly tricky vertical movement. You gotta get a handle on in the middle and towards the end, but otherwise pretty easy and pretty short stage. Stag, the way you fight Stag can come in one of two forms. We'll see if Colonel decides to chase him, or if he's going to stay closer to the ground. You got a runner.
That was a pretty good climb. Senior's climb. Yeah, that was pretty good. Normally, you want to climb with him more, but on this 24 Mavericks category, you don't have that much health like an 90%, so they just climb once.
Mm-hmm. Good fight from both players. Colonel Fatso continuing to hold on to his lead. Next up is
Morphma.
Okay.
Yeah. Normally in 90%, we will go to Magna Centipede, but since we need to get every item at 90% for the Choryuken, but on 24 Mavericks it doesn't matter, so it's a mix of Weakness Order and X-Hunter Order.
Yeah, like I've seen it where, you know, as it is here, Moth is fourth. I've seen it, he's last. It is predicated on that X-Hunter.
Yep. Mod last is the norm for 80%, but here on 24 Mavericks it's better to go to more of mod fourth.
Yeah. Not a bad idea either, getting the hard, probably the most dangerous of the Mavericks and X2 out of the way.
Yep, definitely.
So what your preference is, I suppose, would largely depends on how you go about these games in the first place. So, Nero and Fatso showing no fear; they're ready for this. So good Moth stage for Colonel Fatso. Nero's almost finished. This is where things can go, can and have gone terribly haywire for runners. Is phase 2 of the morph? Phase 2 of Morph Moth?
Now comes the scary part. Okay.
Good
Yeah,
job by
that's
Fatso.
Suzuki. You really don't want to get hit by Mod's second form. That thing can really kill you in 2 hits. No kidding.
Nero already took his damage, so he's playing without a safety net now. But gets rid of Moth. I think both runners are probably breathing a little easier now. It's not a big thing for them, but just having that kind of off the back of your mind, because again, it is a dangerous fight. It can and will wreck your race or your run if you let it. So now we come to Magna Centipede, the 5th of 8 X2 Mavericks. Runners are making pretty good time so far. They're numerically over the halfway point with this is their 13th of 24 Mavericks, and they're both at about 31 minutes. So, as I said at the start of the race, their PBs are in the 103 range. Nero's about 25 seconds better. Not really sure where they're going to be at as far as their final time is concerned, but Nero had the one unfortunate death, but otherwise he's been really good with his movement, and so is Fatso. Very consistent the whole way through.
Yeah, they're both having a pretty good stage so far. The other reason we also want to go to Mod forward is because with the Mod's weapon, we can kill that sword really easily. You can also kill that sword on one hit with a charged chain, but it's a lot easier with Mod's weapon. Now on the Centipede fight, we want him to do what he's doing on Fatso's screen right now. What Fatso's doing here, it's called the Tailspin Glitch. You want to slide down the wall whenever Centipede throws his tail at you, and that will put him on this loop state that will never finish unless you continue sliding on the wall and make the other tail part spawn. But yeah, it's pretty easy to kill on this state. If you reset his state here, he will start teleporting and it'll take a lot of time.
Yeah, and doing this fight normally is no picnic. It can really make life really miserable for you. So Crystal Snail is going to be 6th. So then it'll be Ostrich and Bubble Crab will finish it off, I think.
Not sure if you guys noticed, but as I was saying earlier, both runners already got rid of the X-Hunters because of the order they went in.
Fatso skipping the mini-boss.
Yep. The skip can be done on many ways, but using a charged speed burner is definitely the fastest way to do it. You can even do it with the double drive ostrich weapon. That was the old way of doing it when people went to ostrich 3rd. No one does that around anymore, or at least not the best times. Let's see if they get the good snail fight.
Good for Fatso.
Yep. And yours finished as well.
Hard to tell exactly what the time is. I think Fatso's up by about 15-20 seconds. Fatso faded to black at 35:04. Nero.
Yeah, it's like 14 seconds.
35:21. So about 14 to 18 seconds thereabouts. So yeah, the splits haven't changed any really since the end of X1. They've been very even. Nero's had some bad RNG with a couple of bosses. Fatso's had a couple of minor hiccups with some movement. Places like Wheelgator and parts of Flame Stags. So very consistent for both of them.
Fatso almost lost the fight there.
We want to ride the bikes.
Yeah, since we won't grab either the hard or the leg part, we just carry the bike all the way to the end. Fatso seems to be having some dropped frames here and there.
Yeah, but
Overdrive Ostrich is a pretty simple boss. However, the strat to kill him fast is pretty hard. What you want to do is to shoot a Crystal Hunter as like just before he unfreezes, and you won't trigger his iframes, and then when he jumps up, you can shoot a lemon and then another Crystal Hunter for a triple hit. It deals a lot of damage, but it's pretty hard to execute consistently. Okay, the last boss for both runners will be Bubble Crab. Bubble Crab is a standard stage. The only how do I say this? Inconvenience is this fish, but it's pretty easy to kill with Ostrich's weapon. There it goes.
like Nero had a little trouble getting to the fish. Fatso had a little trouble getting to the fish. Nero a little cleaner on his movement there. Fatso on his way to final boss. Right behind him.
So, Bubble Crab. What you want to do on Bubble Crab is to jump just above him, so he starts doing that attack where he jumps, and you can keep him doing that forever. He'll keep doing that as long as you jump on top of him. So yeah, we just do that and expect the saw to just hit him over and over.
38:39 for Fatso, 38:50 for Nero. So 11 seconds going into X3. Very close indeed.
I think Nero messed up his controls.
He did?
He set the menu to A. That's something I never saw before. Well, it's not that big of a deal. He just won't be bouncing with start, but with A instead. Oh, Fatso waited around because everyone has to wait 30 seconds before starting each game. It's one of the rules of the tournament.
Yeah, as a courtesy, because not every player is running on an emulator. Some have to actually physically switch cartridges. So that's the reason why we have a 30-second break between game. Courtesy. So, everyone, get your hands together for Zero. First and last time we get to play as him in this run.
Yep. X3 was the first game where you could play as Zero, but it was pretty limited. If you die just once as Zero, it's over. You won't get to use him again unless you start a new game. So yeah, it's not that good.
And you couldn't use them in boss fights either.
Yep. Okay, both of them are done with the intro boss. The first stage on X3 should be Blizzard Buffalo.
Yeah.
Blizzard Buffalo is the first boss to go to because he's very easy to manipulate, and also some people want to get the dash boots here as safety for getting through Blast Hornet and Gravity Beetle faster. You don't actually need the boots, but doing those stages without boots can be a bit hard. But these are high level runners, so they should manage just fine.
Interesting to see if I don't think they will, but it would be interesting to see if either of them did actually go for it. You know, because it's a race setting, maybe they figure, well, we need the added safety. But with the time, there's at this stage they're about 10 seconds apart, so I actually kind of doubt it myself. But we'll see. Find out in the next 10 seconds if Fatso or Nero is going to go for it.
Fatso is going for it.
Very interesting. So Nero has a chance to take the lead here if he doesn't go for it. And he's not going for it.
Nero not going for it.
So Nero enters at 42:31. Fatso is going to be about 12-13 seconds behind. So Nero's in the lead. The question now is that upgrade going to give Fatso 12 to 13 seconds advantage on Nero? We don't know because we don't know how well Nero's going to execute some of these jumps. Ooh!
Nero messed up the manipulation there. But it's no big deal. It's almost finished, and there it goes.
So getting a couple of seconds back with a slightly better, cleaner boss fight than Nero. Move on with 1 down, 7 to go. Next up will be Toxic Seahorse, where we could start to see some of those boots start to come in handy for Fatso. We'll see.
Yeah, this stage also has a fair bit of vertical movement, so those bits should definitely help Fatso. But we'll see. Oh, Nero missing some dashes there. here goes the Squid mini boss. This guy is pretty easy. You just want to mash some ice onto him, and there it goes. There's a thing with X3's mini bosses. I think none of them have iframes, like at all, even when they're blinking. So you can just match whatever you want onto them, and they'll die pretty quick. I think the only boss that the only mini boss that has iframes is like the first Doppler stage mini boss, but we don't get to see him on this race.
Yeah, unfortunately, everything comes to a stop with Blast Hornet.
Yep.
So Nero looks like he's staked to a pretty good lead. Gained a couple of seconds. Looks like he's in at 46.25. Fatso's going to be about 10 seconds behind. Good fight from Nero.
Yep. Bosses are kind of wonky in X3, so most of them have these quick kills.
2 cycle for Fatso.
That was pretty good for Fatso. The only 2 bosses that are this fast are Seahorse and Crush Crawfish. That boss also goes down really quick.
So we have a mandatory cutscene, so...
Yeah. When you defeat 2 Mavericks on this game, these guys, Bait, Bite, and Bile, will start to appear. Bit will appear on either stage 3, 4, or 5, and Bite will appear on either the stage 6th, 7th, or 8th. It's random on which one of those 3 they appear, but it always be Bit first and Bite second.
Pungible, what happened is ColonelFatso went for the boot upgrade in Blizzard Buffalo. Nero did not, so that swung the race by about 20 seconds right there. So yeah, Nero's got about a 10-second lead. So now we'll find out if Bite's going to show up here, and yes. So this is completely random, but this is not what Nero wanted to see, I don't think. And well,
Fatso getting beat here too. You really don't want to see this guy I mean, on this stage, since sorry, there is a mini boss on which you'll want to damage boost a lot, and this guy can take some of your HP.
Both of them got through the fight pretty cleanly, so they should. Ooh, Nero almost hit the spike.
Really close.
So, I mean, ultimately, you know, you're gonna have to fight him anyways, but generally, you don't want to fight a bit in Tunnel Rhino stage.
Yeah. So this is the mini boss I was talking about. You'll want to stay on top of him and just mash lemons until he dies. So you want to have HP on this part.
So Nero gained some good fortune with health upgrades, so that's going to mitigate any possibility of getting killed here. Fatso's like, nope, don't need no health upgrade, I'm going.
And now comes Tunnel Rhino. Tunnel Rhino, it's pretty similar to Blizzard Buffalo in the way he charges at you, or the walls. But with Seahorse weapon, it's pretty easy, as long as you don't die. If you die once on this stage, he changes his pattern and starts doing more things. But if you clear the stage just like that on one go and never die, he won't be throwing those trails from his shoulders and other shenanigans.
Nero had a little trouble there at the end with Rhino, but cutting some of those jumps a little short, but finishes them off. We fade to black at 50-51. Fatso is probably about 15 seconds behind. I'd say maybe a little bit more. Those death animations take forever.
Yep.
So it is fade to black at 51:08. So 17-second difference between the runners as we go to Maverick number 4 in X3. This is a chance for ColonelFatso to close the distance a bit with those that upgrade of his.
Yeah. Well, Catfish stage is kind of long, so this will take a while.
Yeah. If it's not the longest in X3, it's at least it's got to be second then. A lot of moving parts, especially if you end up getting bitten this level. Nero taking the health capsule, good idea. Nero is up to down to Volt Catfish. Fatso not far behind.
Yeah, in both Catfish fight, you'll want to shoot charged busters at him, not because you don't have his weakness, but because his iframes expire faster this way, and you end up doing more damage with your buster in the long run. But as soon as he starts doing this attack, where he gets to the center of the screen and gets those thunders, you'll want to spam drills on him, or else you won't be able to hit him.
Good fight from Nero there. ColonelFatso going through his second phase.
Now we're going up against Crush Crawfish. This stage is also kinda long, but the boss is really short. You'll see it in a while.
Yeah, more that wonderful production, more programming.
I'm not sure if X3 was rushed, but the thing with X3 is that it wasn't actually developed by Capcom, it was sourced to a third party, so maybe that's one of the reasons it has these little quirks here and there, but it's not a bad game.
I actually like this one the best, just because yes, it's idiosyncratic behavior with the bosses notwithstanding. The game really punish you as far as difficulty is concerned. So Nero got a 3 cycle on Crawfish.
Oh,
Ooh.
that thing can happen sometimes. If he grabs you and just after that he gets shocked by a Triad Thunder, you'll get stuck on that grabbed state until he damages you. It sucks when that happens.
So 3 to go. Neon Tiger's next. So now they will randomly see Bite appear. Nero having a little trouble getting out and taking the shortcut there.
Yep. Ooh, nice one cycle minibus for Nero. Now you'll see Nero here shooting drills into these enemies and then jumping like inside of their hitboxes. The thing with that is that the drill has this strange property that whenever you hit an enemy with your drill, his hitbox will disappear for like 15 frames and you can just get through them.
So Nero drew Bite in. They both drew Bite in Neon Tiger. So
They both of them got, yeah, both beat and bite on the same stages. It's the first time I see that.
yeah, I think so for me as well. That makes our lives easier as far as tracking is concerned. To know who's leading and who isn't. Oh no, Fatso has taken a death to Bite. That is possibly a fatal blow for ColonelFatso here in game 1 of this best of 3 match. Oh dear, that's unfortunate. They're running, they weren't exactly even. Nero had about a 20-25 second lead, but it was definitely in range. It was basically hoping for a mistake from Nero at that point, but made one already in this race. And Bounty Hunter is correct. Hits can happen, though there aren't really dangerous pits in Gravity Beetle or Blast Hornet, I don't think. So Nero with about a 45 to about a 1 minute lead, I'd say at this point. We'll see. We got on to Gravity Beetle. So the 23rd Maverick in this race.
Ooh, that's so it's a little low in health.
Yeah, he's got to watch it here. That's the thing with the bosses. As weird as their AI patterns can be, and they are pretty weird, they do a tremendous amount of body damage.
Yep.
So, Fatso.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Watch it. Okay, should be clear. So,
There he is.
so the area that Nero's in right now, this is where those boots come in handy. It makes platforming through that section a lot easier.
Yeah, doing those bootless jumps is really hard. Props to Nero for getting through that part that way.
Yeah, it wasn't clean. It wasn't spotless, but it was very, very well executed. So he's already to gravity beetle Fatso. Gotta basically praying for catastrophic mistake from Nero at this point.
So here we go up against Gravity Bill. Gravity Bill, I'd say, is the easiest boss with his weakness. She'll just want to shoot his weakness onto him, and he will do absolutely nothing but jump. And he'll keep jumping until he dies. It's really straightforward.
So one to go for Nero X2 in game 1 of this game 3 game match. Best of 3 match. ColonelFatso grinding his way up the elevator, and again those boots making it a lot easier for him. But it's too little, too late at this point as we come down to the last Maverick Blast Hornet. That's a little trouble with the boots, but Nero trying to go for. There he goes.
Very good. A little bit of trivia about this mini boss on X3. The thing with X3 and X2 is that both games had this special chip called the CX4 chip, which is used to display those wireframe bosses, that star and also the sword on X2, and also for the Virus Sigma. That's one of the reasons the American cards are so expensive, since you can't play them through other flashcard devices like Everdrives. You can play them on ST to SNES, but those are pretty expensive too.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of the X2 and X3 never really got the attention they really deserved. I think X1 is widely regarded as a classic, and justifiably so. But 2 and 3 are no slouches as games, and more than hold their own. Fatso having a little trouble with the boost. We come down to the final boss.
Yeah, you'll see Nero here use the... don't remember how this weapon's called, but it's Crawfish's weapon. You'll see him use this instead of Hornet's actual weakness, because just like on Catfish's case, his high frames expire faster. And GG to Nero. Game 1.
Nero finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 4 minutes, 3 seconds. Fatso not just about finished here. He's down to the last third of the stage. Dr. Kane saying, "Oh yeah, you're done. You don't have to fight Doppler. He's surrendered. Blah blah blah. You won."
That'd be pretty neat though. X3's final stages are pretty hard.
Jeez.
Oh!
Oh dear. Fatso taking another death
But a Blast Hornet. Didn't he die in practice to Blast Hornet?
Yeah,
Can't
the
remember.
thing is that Fatso got stung. If you get hit by Hornet Stinger, you'll receive a lot of damage. It's comparable to getting hit by Morph Model X2, so you really don't want to get hit by that Stinger.
Seems to have settled into a good pattern here for finale, and there he goes. And GG to ColonelFatso finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 6 minutes, and a second.
But stay tuned, guys, because here we go with game 2.
Yep. Oh.